Good afternoon, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. I'm not totally sure what day it is, guys, because this whole weekend has been 4 days where other than Matthew, everybody else has been off, and so well, I guess Friday onward through tomorrow as well will be like that. And Matthew has off for the first day in, like, I don't even know, a while. He's had work, I think, 3 days straight at least now, and so we actually thought he was working tomorrow, but I guess he's not. He is off work. So yeah, guys, we got still kind of recovering from 4th of July. There's sort of stuff kind of sitting around still and things like that, and there's some stuff on the table. We got a good amount of stuff picked up. There's still some stuff outside. We actually cleaned up most of the stuff, like, from outside last night, so there's really not that as much left. But we ended up getting to, yesterday was obviously our big entertaining day, sort of, with, you know, 4th of July and stuff like that, you know, just party kind of stuff that was going on. And then today, you know, since my dad's home from work and everything, we were like, let's try and get some projects done. But I woke up kind of late. I think I got up at about 9 o'clock, but maybe 8:30. I don't think I got out of bed though until closer to 10 o'clock. So I slept in kind of late today, but I was super exhausted. And I realized too, guys, here's the thing. I think even though I drink a lot of water, like, I think I had 2 at least full bottles of water today, and I didn't even really spend a whole ton of time outside, but spending time out in the heat, like, it's 90 degrees outside, even if you're not doing anything. Like, I was just sitting on the porch, which is in the shade, you know, under, you know, the covered porch, and you know, just sitting there. And, you know, earlier when I was having my coffee in the morning, like, or getting around maybe 10 or 10:30, I was having that and just, you know, like I said, sitting outside watching the birds and stuff like that. I was on my phone for a little bit. I was like, you know what, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that hot. And then a little bit later in the afternoon, me and my dad were actually going over sort of a master list of all the stuff that still has to get kind of done, because now that we sort of finished up all the big known projects that we needed to do, like obviously finishing the floor painting, you know, the cabinets and all that kind of stuff, we obviously needed to go around and be like, okay, what are the little touch-up things and stuff like that that we still have to do, and what are some of the other, you know, things. And it's difficult too, because, like, right now we're working on, again, we're still finishing up my mom's office, we're finishing the kitchen and stuff like that, but then we're also doing outside stuff, and we want to try and get to the outside stuff while we're still able to do that, because obviously it's July, it's, you know, we're right in the middle of the summer sort of thing. And obviously too, when it's 90 degrees out consistently, like it's supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be like pretty much this entire weekend, all the way through till at least next weekend. I think possibly even after that, it's not supposed to get below 90 degrees, like, as a high. It will at night, obviously, but it's not supposed to get below 90 degrees as a high. So our highs for, like, the next week straight, we're not going to be like 80s as a high or 70 something, you know, as a high. It's going to be 90s. And so that's obviously, it's really hot out. I don't think we're supposed to break 100, but it's supposed to, again, not to go below 90 degrees for our high. So it's not the best time to be getting, like, outside projects. Obviously a ton of stuff done outside right now, because, again, just sitting out there. Again, me and my dad were talking about, like, our master list of stuff that still has to get done, and we're actually sitting outside, because we went through the kitchen. We're kind of like, okay, this, you know, thing needs to be done, that little thing needs to be done, and whatever and stuff like that. And then we were going through my mom's office, and again, this thing needs to be done, you know, all that. Then we went outside, we walked around, you know, pretty much most of the backyard, but then kind of through the front yard too, if there was anything else. And then we came back around to the backyard, and we're sitting on the back deck, and we're out there for maybe like 20 minutes or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted from just sitting here in this, you know, in the shade, because again, it's so hot outside. But that's what I realized, was that it just being hot outside, even if you were like guzzling down water, not doing anything, just sitting there, it takes so much out of you, like, from just being so hot outside. And so again, you know, like, no sunburn, no nothing. I didn't sit and bake in the sun or, you know, anything like that. But when it's that hot out, and again, you're not consistently keeping yourself cool, like, you're not in a pool or the ocean or the beach or something like that, and you're not, you know, like, keeping your body temperature down. I think it's just when you get that hot, it's that hot outside and stuff like that, it just takes a toll on you. And I realized the exact same thing too, was that we would come home from, you know, Matthew and Jack's football games. So I guess back when Matthew played Park District football, but when Jack was playing Park District football and like we were coaching, we'd be out for like a while during the day and stuff like that. I'd come home and I would be like, I need to go take a nap. And honestly, I have hardly ever, as a, you know, pretty much ever since I grew out of naps when I was a little kid, I am not the type of person that, unless I am like deathly ill, I don't take naps. I can't do it. I don't know why. Like, I will go to bed early if I have to, or again, I sleep in late, but I just can't. I'm not a nap person. I can't do it. But for some reason, when we'd come home from football games, there were several times when I would fall asleep on the couch and I was like, how on earth is this even possible? This is not me. I don't do this. And like, you know, again, kind of putting 2 and 2 together, because like, you know, we'd just be outside and stuff like that for a long time, and I was like, I'm not playing football. I am not, you know, running around. I am not, you know, doing any of this stuff. I'm standing on the sidelines. I was like, why am I so exhausted from just standing here? And again, I used to think like, oh, it's just like a mental exhaustion thing from being, you know, at football or something, you know, or like, you know, my brain is thinking too much and I just get tired. And that's what I always thought it was, until like yesterday even too, and kind of like this past week that it's been super hot out, you know. And it's like, obviously, like if I'm out in the garden gardening and then I'm tired afterwards, I'm like, I need to go to bed early or whatever, I totally will be like, oh, it was because I was outside gardening. But I would realize the last, again, couple days not doing anything, or even to just like painting in the garage, I'm standing there moving my arm. I shouldn't be, you know, like feeling exhausted from doing that. And I was like, it's because I'm standing out in a hot garage painting, you know, and it being so hot out. And just from, again, that heat and stuff like that. So I think we honestly are in like a heat wave right now. My mom said she got a warning on her phone the other day because of it. I think it was yesterday maybe. And so yeah, guys, that is why I am just like, we can't really get anything done. But I just like today, today I slept in, even though I went to bed decently early. I think I went to bed around like 11:30, and maybe I fell asleep by about midnight at the latest, but I actually went to bed really early. Everybody else actually still stayed awake last night and watched a movie until like probably 1 or later in the morning, but I went to bed early last night. And again, like I was still, like my mom actually wasn't feeling great, but I guess she was up early. And then my dad said the same thing too. He was like, I didn't wake up until like 8:30 or something like that. And again, I was up at like 9 o'clock. And so I didn't get out of bed until closer about 10 o'clock. But, you know, like I said, I was just like, why does everybody just feel exhausted and tired and sick? And we didn't do anything really. You know, my mom went and took like a nap again today because she wasn't feeling good. And you know, I was just like, I think it's because it's just so hot, and we were just so, from sitting outside, even though we had the fans on us and stuff like that. And once it got later in the afternoon, everybody was okay, but just from like being outside in the heat during the middle of the day, it was just too hot, and we probably should have just come inside and sit in the air conditioning, and not been dealing with it, you know, sitting out there. But we really want to enjoy, like, you know, we had the deck all nice and cleared off, we had the party decorations up outside, and we kind of just wanted to enjoy being outside and stuff like that. But it was too hot for that. Apparently, just to even be sitting outside when it's 90 degrees out. So yeah, guys, like I said, unless you're keeping yourself cool, it's hot just to be out there. And again, I think that's why I ended up sleeping in so late, even though I went to bed early. Because like when I feel like that, to me it feels like a mental exhaustion. Like I just mentally feel exhausted, but it's not. I think it's just the heat. And that was, like I said, the same thing. My dad is normally the person that is on the weekends, even he is up at 6 o'clock. And for him, he gets up at like 3 in the morning or 4 or something like that for work. And so for him, sleeping in on the weekends is like 6 or 7 o'clock, but he woke up at like 8:30. And so he was like, I just felt exhausted and tired, and like, you know, that whole kind of thing. And then again too, Matthew and Jack normally sleep in, but my mom too didn't feel good either again today, because I think it was just, it's the heat. And so I was like, I hate it. Other than in the morning, I really like should try and stay inside. But that's the thing, is that I guess this week, pretty much, maybe into part of next week too, we're just gonna have to try and get you know, inside projects done, maybe some stuff done outside, but nothing that's gonna be like, oh, let's try and get, you know, projects that's in the blazing sun, you know, done out there and stuff. The other thing too I told you guys is we don't have any trees on our property, so it's also kind of not very easy to stay cool in the backyard because there's really no shade other than on our covered porch. And still, even too, like, I had to keep moving my chair around out there while we were sitting out there because the sun kept moving, and I was like, oh no, it's on my back, and I was like, I don't want to get sunburned. So no sunburn for me though yesterday, which was good, because like sometimes I've noticed if I have, like, back in football times, I used to not even think about wearing sunscreen some days, and I used to wind up with like sunburn, and I'd be like, oh, that's probably why I just am exhausted, because I got, you know, sunburn in the hot sun and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I didn't get sunburned, and like that was normally what I always thought it was too, but it wasn't. So one of the things that we got done today, guys, was we caulked. We did the caulk. We have clear caulk that we did along the tiles that were in here. I showed you guys my mom did that on like Friday night. She put those in, and so then we ended up putting the caulk in today. We did a little bit of work on her her office floor. We had some like the carpet tile stuff to still put in, but we have to cut some of them, so that's why we were doing that today. And then there was another project too that we got done. I don't remember what it was. We also hung the trim in her around the door in her office, and we had to caulk in there as well. So out of the big master list of stuff that we had to get done, we ended up doing that. But yeah, we have to try and get some projects though done, like, you know, because the other thing that's gonna stink is like football, you know. And so when it is normally cooler outside in the fall and stuff like that, that's when Matthew, my dad, and Jack are pretty much all busy. So while I can do some stuff, I can't do all of the outside, you know, stuff that needs to get done as well. And so they have to, you know, kind of help, or at least do some of that as well. And so that's why we like kind of, spring is the best time to get it done, because again, like right now in the middle of July, we can't try and get, you know, a lot of outside stuff done, and we can't be out there for too long because the heat exhaustion, like, you know, it's not gonna be good to be out there for too long. So yeah, like I said, guys, we've got a delicate balance here of what we have to try and get done and stuff like that. But there's lots of, again, like little touch-up stuff. Like, again, we just needed to caulk that was already put up, but we have to do like one little thing that goes with it. I also told you too that we took the face plates off here, but we realized that this didn't get painted, and the new faceplate is actually a little bit smaller, so you can see the outline of this one, and then also to the one in the hallway as well. So while we have to paint white in here, we have to paint the gray that's in the hallway. So this is the same thing on this point as well. We have to get touched up. So again, there's like little touch-up things here and there. I think maybe a couple of the cabinet doors too. Like there's some, like from being painted, when we painted it outside, there were some little things that kind of have to be touched up in here as well. And like we have to get the new hardware, but then we also have to put the new hardware on as well for the cabinets and stuff like that. These are, I think, primed maybe, and we are gonna paint them tomorrow. But that's the other thing too, is because it's so hot out right now, painting is not the best even option outside, because the paint is not even drying properly because it's too hot. Which I think, like the ones that I did outside, it was just really like goopy, because it was just like, I don't know, I think like I said, it was too hot out. But again, there's little things that we have to kind of touch up, but there's not like really like one big project that we are working on right now that we have to try and get done. You know, like I said, you know, like our whole kitchen kind of thing, it's just, again, more little things. The stairs would probably be one of the bigger ones, but Matthew and my dad have sort of been doing that. I haven't even really like gotten involved in that project as far as some of the other stuff goes. But again too, we also have to stain the butcher block. Can't do that because it's supposed to be between 70 and 80 degrees, and 95, you know, plus degrees is not the right temperature where we're supposed to be staining that at. Which is like the, I think it's not stain, the sealant for the butcher block. So my dad can't do that. We can't put that in even, and we should probably do it outside instead of in the house. And so we can't do that until it cools down anyway. So there's a lot of projects right now that we're actually weather dependent on, and not even rain, you know, like weather dependent, it's heat weather dependent on. Or I guess that would be not weather, but you know, Mother Nature dependent on, and we're getting hit with a heat wave. So we can't even finish up some of our projects right now that don't even involve us actually being outside. But then there are outside projects, like we have to till the ground to put our new grilling patio in, like that kind of stuff, which nobody I'm sure wants to be out there when it's 95 degrees in the middle of the day. Early in the morning or later in the afternoon would be a better time to try and get some of that stuff done. But again, we only have so many hours where there's actually sunlight when it's actually cool out as well, and we can't be doing it, you know, when it's like 10 o'clock at night and people are obviously trying to sleep. And so yeah, guys, it's like I said, got to figure out what else we can get done tomorrow. But it was just little things that we did today, which was nice, but also too at the same time we've got, like, I don't know, it's weird because I'm like, oh, let's go get a big project done. And I was like, we have no big projects. Like putting some caulk on the tiles and, you know, putting in the trim and stuff like that, it's not a big project right now. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a little thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.